Hey Facebook Live, what's going on? It's Tanya here. So this is me really getting out of my comfort zone. Um, in the group that I'm part of at the moment, the coaching group, we have been given a challenge, and that's in the form of having to do. We actually were supposed to do videos, and two of them. The first one being on like who we wanted to be when we were young. Hey, wow, there's already people on. Hey guys, what's up? Just say hey if you're jumping on. Elizabeth, hi, how are you doing? So I was like, and it was quite funny because I was like, videos, easy, whatever. I do live feeds like every day, whatever. Hey, Kate. Um, so yeah, it's funny how we get like that sometimes. I was like, yeah, easy, I can do a video, whatever, right? So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do this live because that's really me getting out of my comfort zone, because there's a lot of reasons for doing this task, but one of the main ones is really getting out of our comfort zone. So here we go. So what was interesting though is that I actually found this topic very emotional. Sorry, can you guys hear me, or it's quite windy here? I'm just by an equestrian park here. That's what's behind me. Just let me know if you can hear me, because it's quite windy. So I'm just gonna see is that better? Okay. So what I wanted to be when I was young. So I was just thinking, I was actually like, okay, the topic of this is interesting because I'm very much about, now, like what's going on now, and the future, what's going to be in the future. And so it was actually really interesting for me to think back to my past and actually ask myself, like, what did I want to be? Because there's actually a long period of time where I couldn't remember a lot of my childhood, and just because of, it was quite traumatic, and there still are parts that are kind of like blurry, and I don't go back to the past too often. I'm really about moving forward and being present. But I was just hi Lorraine, hi Govind, I'm great, thank you. How are you doing? Yeah, cool. So I was just remembering back to when I was really little. There were a few things that I wanted to be, and I remember that every time that I kind of, I felt sad or lonely, my little escape was to go and spend time with my cat. Or I had I always had cats when I was young, and I loved my cat, so I'd always like go and play with it. And I remember I used to have little tree houses that I would build, and I would go and like take my cat up the tree or like carry it around and pretend it was like a baby, or like all that kind of thing. And I absolutely loved animals, and so I thought, like, okay, I want to be a vet when I grow up, I want to be a vet, or work with, as my friend Rachel was saying in her video, like work with dolphins or do something like that. And then at school though, I realized that, to be a vet, you need to be good at science, and I was absolutely terrible at science. So that was kind of like, that was out the window. And I loved animals, but I didn't want to be like cutting them open and shoving things in them, and I was like, no. So that was out the window. And hey Gail, how you doing? And then I also remember I really wanted to be like a dancer. I loved ballet. I did a lot of different kind of dance when I was young. I did ballet, I did hip hop, I did jazz. I absolutely loved dancing, and I thought that it would be just amazing to be like a dancer or any kind of performer, really. Like I loved anything to do with that. And then the reason I was getting emotional before I actually did this live feed was